We are live. I've already seen few people have joined the show. Thank you for those of you who have joined this conversation. Kindly share this video so that it can reach many people that might be really interested in participating and contributing to this conversation, and also being part of the conversation themselves. So we welcome anyone who has thought, ideas, perspective that need to be added. If you are new to the U-turn is an educational empowerment platform. Here we inspire, educate, and spotlight the excellent work that our community members are doing, those who have businesses, organization, or life history, careers that are, changing perspective, or, have some lesson that we can learn from. We use interviews, storytelling to bring out some of the U-turn ideas or changing ideas that we hope will transform the mindset in and also empower our community members to take advantage of the opportunities that are mixed within the changes that the world is going through. So today we have a debate. It's like a roundtable discussion, not interview, and we are discussing the role of elders, in our community from the then traditional perspective, and right now in the modern perspective. What has changed? What have we lost? What do we need to reclaim so that we stay rooted? We adapt to new ways of doing things, but stay rooted in our culture, in our identity, in our heritage. So today I'm joined by my colleague, a co-host from the U-Turn, Alakir, being all the way from Vancouver. Hey, Alakir, thanks for joining the conversation. And Chol Manikwal, all the way from Rwanda, Kigali. Thank you, Chol, for joining. So I don't want to take away a lot of time introducing us. Many people know us. So share, let us know where you are joining from. But I will start with you, Joel. But before I start with you, I have this experience and I shared it earlier. The Mandan want to walk Akuma. I want to really speak in Dinka, but also mix it with English. Ko waka ke ga jam ona da ka jal ka kuma e kolo Australia, kolo US, kolo Europe, kolo Canada. Ko wa ga nyoy pen ku jam walk, on how ben walk elders, the community I been community leaders, grandmas, granddad, uncles, aunties, on how ben walk be changed. That is, they give us their wisdom to any peel whiting, buru binye lo, buru kok, buru binye. It was a great thing. It's still, I know it's still being practiced, but now who student I pictures can pose, can look, celebrate and advise on how big a big thing. One critical perspective, which one of my close family, actually, the value of this gem, actually that big. Sometimes could be like waste of resource because koi jam, I cooking con ben right? We jam on how being bitching. They are elders, yes, they have live expertise, they have wisdom, but the wisdom is limited to the environment. Okay, see? So now we want quite to call out it till I experience. Okay, we have been we jam on how ben walk bitching in Pana because they even if chicken elders they have lived the experience. So that actually it made me think and even question, what is the role of elders now? Is it, that is the traditional wisdom is limited to environment or context, and especially in the Peter walked in one modern with immigration, displacement, urbanization. So I just want to paint that picture. What do you think? Are our elders, still being elders? What do they do, now that is different from what they did then? And how is it impacting? Do you still have elders? Or elders for the youth? Take it away.
All right, all right. Thank you, Akwal and Alakir, and our audience. Really appreciate your time that you've given for joining us. And all I have today is that I was the one who suggested the topic of today because our guest announced some complication. Jal today, not only one of the Chen Balatin. So, okay, go a little one him chan, what pin Madina. ko wo dia chok pan jeng wo kor woni bi chan te ler wotin ku te wan ko so en ganan jam ne lel rose ke elders ter ko war ter ku kaka man te de nyen man te elders ko de ke to important kaka important there on kwaji berwa important man te so topic was quite open kwa along a lot of questions they were raised so ku questions ke chaka prepared I think kola baga dil yoten and ku ke ka bukel dil jami so na la gol daman ter war ki roles ke kodir mun teron alu balwel ke kodir ter war ter ha ko ke jare had some life experience that were really gained through hardships and responsibilities and community service and kuka ka aka ke ga ba ben ku bere lo pass on to us o mit ken chi ga dit bi ga ba device ke ye chok ige lo yide na chi ka ngiri er ko yito yide because I've lived that life so kunyana man tete ka ke dia ige important na ko kul ter war ti manu yin ke wom den ter war ige dia ige yin ka ground chan bi ga ba share to us like ka chi ga very important chi how dated like people say mana da kin we are in .com ku ko ter wara ka chelo kanong ko ke important chu ko ngin ke chu ko nim bu ka do chuk ku bu ka ke yu ke loy ke ko re ko bu ka jal nyaai ke ne ke dil to ke ne so na la jam long tap dama teron uh, you know the authority that they had always come from the character and from the wisdom, not the title, not the money. So authority they need to again ke ko ya device e to ne ke ko ke yen muk solia bi ko janga de ti mana lo la ngai yin ka ba muk sul community o yin ka ba ja jam ngai ka be ya muk sul ko do ben e kinyi ngai ku jela characters kran ku nyina man te ro jal war elders ko anjal ko jam nyina man te elders longo elders long titles ke elders jem ko nyina man te ku elders ter ko war ke ko jam from their wisdom the inborn one so nge kito da man ter so akor bu jal compare elders ke man te chang titles kwa no ku elders ter ko war kin yega dit ke ni de na irane cho lo yo jalo la ngai yen ka bo mu o yen ka bo kum o ngai yen ka ba mu sulu wa ka damane e nyi ngai ku jela characters ke see ke ga bu ga jal la su nyen mo de a chu ngeni ade mu sulu ya ko long title ko no wu ka ti chen wo lertin da ya da mit ko wa ko nyen mo de jana wu ko wa ku long titles ko wa ka mu sulin mit ko tung ke na mit ko war ka weka you see ekena a lot of questions suppose buga answer today in ganan discussion the question on a neutral a jam ko ter war ko jam elders ke ne man te elders kon ke man ti hoke ke long titles ko anon wo ko elders ter kon war ke kwan based on their wisdom and the characters so topic too often for anyone ku bu jal dil tema ko le do time da ya do ja dia den ko rande cho de go rande ye lang de den tin ne ko bulum ku ber ku de la chwata le kranda de go pi ni ten ku chi ber ba ben mi ko ko bara yu time ku keep ku brand be information te de ne ku bu lo at man long and discussion pe da lo ku bu lo da le ku cho che ke a dil yo grana ber ben mi ko le ko you turn always brief and educative so uh welcome, my brother. Anti diara cha woni nyente ne alde ne. So ko che kra na e diara ba bi table no ne. Ken ga ya ko ba ngi de ko mun walatin. So but I really appreciate and that one gam. I know every hat anto do lui join by them every time chan ba lui join. So into what deal ku topic ya da ba de lo de jitan wanong some guiding questions ta ga am ta na lo jama la ka into to ba ja dom ko ten kiran den bon yal chan chi bito out of the topic So
Okay.
yeah, so communities were there were, they were akum, like people were together, but now,
Yes.
so, and everyone used to depend on the shared guidance. But now ngajal ten rongde chikiri, someone can say maybe sukulu chilere then oh ye kiri pandu or muksole pandu or ye hindu ni chi welcome to do that. Ngajal ron mutu, you see. So we are disconnected from each other. Yi ba jalba long time jano jalba ping kaka elders ku baga bala lo apply to the modern society that you are living in. El dili who can but still I am can from my own perspective we are not connected. Chalo to barata and to do to anything in Yanama. Still, kitchen the chilotin, India into your roots are still home. You could read them cut the take or buy it, no man, a liberal can in the chu buy can chiran into buy and chu jal tim road to read chin pandero jal do chin quand into buy and I chakato I hear you what away family go ur kumur jalami the ku chakato I hear other great grandparents or maybe uncles who got the when by a chip or we got built, but still they carry those values. Another question is ke ko dir ci loxen we ki loxen we baraka chaga ala linim ga ya de we buti non ke banan ki jo we ka chaga la linim eh ci su kul o pe ci wala leer de ba wo jone ke so an ci kere cha cho diat an bi jal bala do ale longen ke cha jal bala ngen but e jam ka kar ba ya cho open ni ke chana ni ra ne lui ke an ke lui topic an ke lui suggest uh, I will be brief in this kind of introduction. Tiang riak by if na allow you'll always join Iran ni alku ya Iran da na panda na. So Kwal, I think I've elaborated the topic very well and why I suggested it and things that we should revolve around. So thank you.
Thank you, Charahu. And if you just joined, okay, we are talking today about the role of elders from traditional perspective and now, and we are reflecting on what have we lost, what do we need to reclaim, how do we stay grounded, back in our tradition, our heritage, in the knowledge of elders. So, Alaki, Rabagol someone has very important question, Kuala around Kuala. Actually, how do we define elders? So before we even talk about the role, like here, we define elders. You got one. Yeah, Kuala Philip was the you tell job. Kaya age, kaya based on wisdom, kaya kon mo nega lela kaya invite kaya guest of honest in event. So like we were guide, take it away, define and a bit of background. What make elders? Chen walk ja ni yinga.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, runa chinom lia paret. Anen koine run get the dia kwalul ke youth. Anen koine run get the dich kwalul ke elders. So it really depends. I feel like the being an elder is a mindset. I already an auntie and can go by a grandmother. In my opinion, my fond memories of interacting with elders are back in the day. And in Kodi Runjang when I peered and told I meet can I get the they and some of them have seen a lot of horrors in the war, Kujala displacement. So one of my favorite is one of my uncles, maybe age mate kind of kwarkwadia. To jago right kujela ben by. So anen kaka to gur kujeka ben kujeka ket bigger dear bigger ja ket. That's my one of my favorite thing. By japping dear one by and they will give cultural context. Rana bedida betalo dina edina na ya. Dina non yo ka tem yo ka lor. Dina non yo ka pure yo ka lor. Kujeka explain how the ritual used to go. So I think elders, in my opinion, are custodian of cultural knowledge. The way things used to be before the modern state took over. So Koiwan Tera can in control over the land, over the cattle, over the legal system, and ache quite kek ning conflict chiroloy ke council of elders I can new at pin could be koi to kecherom bekeden be juirich. And I in kin mediation kolo in kin conflict resolution kolo for the community in parok in che elder, which mean by that definition and anche elder. So those are the elders. Chalwell when koi wan to jill coach because like ke coach I can watch pin be because be jam. Ke elders kaka ko jam a chana go coach go kanong so they can keep behavior and identity. A job and pan elders chingit, they tell you who you are and that will keep you grounded. Nangit ranit who they are and then their identity angit could you ben rock you meet all kinds of people and all kinds of path the begin layer of where when she called been benton so I like him ka said I had how could you jam it your elders ben jake jam yin ngada God buku jam la du nom la mar ko du nom la mar ter bi yin tin ye ko kun ping to du telephone lo tio you know those those things um can a and can elders but the thing is in the modern context elders are authority then I check them a che jal a chi ka jwe wen rolo in the modern context a che nya number one is because then power they have to control something. That's just what it is. Now because yin ping to yung big youtin. One aning dispute over the land or over the cattle, where the chica diet kero one day and yin jal kubir ping and betedi, elders will have to intervene, right? And if in this context, where the Kero Achin land, why would they listen to the elders? Na who can chika loike ko chika town their bank account. Achin walked by. Bike elders ja chok jolo walking. Ting winti a chaban ku wendi dango ken tiek bikateadi. Right? So in my opinion, when I think of elders, I get kabanano mukaka. Um so kajwe when I elders achi nobody want to listen to them anymore, which is sad. But in the modern context, all individualism, title, my brother Will, branding title, branding, okay, you wrong why you that nobody can tell you what to do, right? Kinchi kolbaping. And then you got gender equality. What you married gender equality on the youth and it, can I achieve power of elders achieve take it because one their elders are operating from the point of view of very specialized roles and responsibilities in the household. So if there's a conflict between man of the house and woman of the house, can you take a pink panan one panajing in a by chin. At least in Kakuma, that's what I think happened. Me that check a lot because in those conversations, I jim taken muchara pande. And in a by ching panajing, mocha che berto, kutika che roli jarnia, kakuna ekala duet to chen mindin. You know, things like that. But pandan gender equality, you want everyone to know, huh? Ni kyo yota college. So there's that. Youth ya danga kor autonomy. Ko wan tere na ran ping bi baba de leke men dia kena ka kor ba kwen kena ka bi and peer pit. They don't want that. Kor big ya YouTubers or they want to be entertainers and those things elders don't understand, so they don't even know how to advise them, right? I think child protection laws, those they get in the way of how elders used to do things. Now, if there's a dispute that involve a child, wana kakuma kalir protection. That's jurisdiction chief elders chief elder people attend. So in the modern context, quite taping elder system we work talk in the same space physically in real life. Right now okay Luigi. Personally, if I feel like I want to get connected kena kokwa I will listen to songs on the YouTube and dear kaulian dear rodir kaker kaka aya kapi and some of them I don't understand, some of them I understand, but it makes me feel grounded. I listen dear kayu al kudachwe ku kadang ku kongor and a bit all those things they teach me the way things used to be done, right? So yeruna in the place of absolute authority to the elders, a state kachelo. Police will intervene when there's conflict between individual, between communities. So where do elders come in, and how do they need to change their approach? They don't have coercive power. No, they need to be persuasive. Right? Because if you don't control anything in someone's life, you cannot force them to do anything. That's my perspective, a bit long, but I hope it contributed to the conversation. Abajabe Paul. Thank you, Akwa.
Thank you. No, that's a great perspective. In this modern society, no, well, elders actually very relevant anymore. But I want to listen to perspective run there get a chuk by. Luca, did by. And maybe a non urban perspective too. Those who cook my dignity at but pan were upstate, people are there in a communal setting with elders. No government at all thing, but I want to hear, do you agree with what Alakir from perspective Ranch Cook? Within the altitude, that many of communal setting wherein elders, authority elders respected. So what do you see? Do you think elders are still, why were they respected in the past or even trusted? What has changed now? Are they still relevant in the context? To work in South Sudan, man. Look, take it away.
Okay, Akwal Philip, thank you. So much, Palazala Kir. I really appreciate you for bringing up this topic today. And sorry for joining you late. I was having some delay somewhere else. That's why I reached my location late. And I'm very glad that the topic is all about our elders. Because me, I'm not a part of the elders, but I'm going to be among the elders in future. So I have to be very proud of this topic today. The Kichiala Kilwell is very important, and actually elders nowadays are abandoning their work. Most of them are about to give up on their role. This is a sincere thing that I have to say, especially back in where I came from. Oh God, today challenges are fair along kitchen modern war like quite that quite do affair. I think some of the children nowadays they don't even listen to elders. Reason maybe kitchen going to teach your back let the grand work. For example, man when that work and teach could they ben randid well again? Yeah, and it is very hard for him to be like Pintan when. Yeah, and that one I do take it as like it is not because of the modern world, but it is the background of the person. Ran one can in man one quite keeping what ran it and talking around kui. Tan ko and at a road but the kid in an daddy. A kid dig tan ka yin ka ye mit. A chocolate kin there well ko in a rodeo ka de ko in chirom kran where but they could be like if you need to talk around to bend by fandu ci manan material by fani ko rana dinga ran wen ba cha lo fani ko de ko wi lwel maybe ke den jamen den gen e ke kit ke de lwel tong yen gal ke ran di ting a ci nyu pin ka li bi me ting te chok ro jot ko yan den ko ai te wi ma ko go ga pai ka lwel ko la pal ke man wi ko dal ke arin ke wi ko dit big again Bukune Ekebe young Baden in the next 10 to 20 years later, or been good 30 years later. Chairman Kajuan there, Kaya York Lagi School, especially in Warap, Miss One Chika York Villa School, 1990s, 1970s, 1980s. Ko Quake Kaja Berkeley School, Ula Gala Jura Lakanyai, Arab Bukaya Nyai Baden. Metin Akega, Miss Metin, Tijachen, Kakunka Kajumeti. Even what 1 year elders like kwe chi lai ping ma tino ka ke de ngo ka ko de ke le bi coin by today but I can ke ping wa ne le juro ko ya nya rin understanding is school ken ter ke ni pa ngo ken ni bi school a coin ke ba de so ken actually some of the elders actually lo big role in that be lo abandoned today some of the challenges we were then sometimes been with like we ka le me le nya ke rande won wije chan ko bi nyai kwer den be la twen tini ko bile ya kwer che kwer wiji sometime kaman ten ke ran won taw ke ran benda masulia de renten aye gwa yogla na chi ya masul bai pande ko chok ban de 25 wala de 30 years wala de 24 wala even 20 ko ra pande ko la lui bu ke be ku moy ting de moy we wala nyan ken wala ko ke ren ke yan ka chin nit zato ku bi ran di de ban ba leken bi elders won ben ara ngwe ban ba lek ko bi loy ko je pir jingi kalas so this thing yana ci koy dit ko ka taw ka de ken advice bi ga ma ci ka chol ka pal role ken ku gunai yi adil ke sa fo da chan ku bu role ken ilda ku bu ga respected especially we as a young generation of this nation and some years to come ku bu ga ko won de ka bu loy bai ka elders ala bu ye den bu ga gam ke lakin some of the elders are too, they have a problem among themselves because elders ko Iran this is not a child of my area, well, this child is not from my community. So why should I advise them? And that one will also bring a problem. Because if you know yourself, okay, you're elder, even if he's not from your community, he's not from your family, you have to talk. Chol ko legi na che dururi gale waden degen ko ko nyin tomorrow. Lakin telerian ku yal twen ku lele chimen akwal rein daga ku le ranu dit rangwen legi na ina kwal kan ka tinga ye loy kwaraje bi chi chiang do chi bi chol la twen ka kaj baden ko chi bi chol yin yar go ku choga yen le na nyai ke ko won bi ro war ku lo ko pa lo ya ko chien kran wan in ran lai dong del rej wan kani kale ba lo ya acknowledge ya ande degen yom duner wijinen ba bana jam ka po ta ka lo yi pedu kran wan ki la dog be ko ra ji gen kale ba lo ya acknowledge en jam gi degen an wan min ko je chi rer ga elders apai lakin ache elders from my family alone because and kila jal by 2007 bare wow ke ga koi ko mostly ko ja wila chirer ke ana pai di lakini the one of the elder chaban yoga wow 2010 and that time in the man 10 prime 7 kajala prime 8 achaba yoga le yin luka la advice in le balagin taban wala irere hele ke ga jaban wati le yin luka taban kene ke ating dan mutin most of the guys ke koi were we ala jal bi ga wo ka kala tu koi ko ala wi bi ga bag na di win dong pin balore so my advice in kitin wi balagin achiran ja kan ti le pir ga e pir bi alo ko da ku yin ran tong cha ti so lu ngan ta ban cha ti gu le gen and point and jire wa do almost 3 years now since 2007 to 2008 up to now kin na chin te chi re ko tin cha de ya pat ku we ga we ko wen le ba ka cha ni pe rin te chim be ban town family ka che ke le bi ban ban ke yen bi ga ba dot lakini le bi a we ko chi ko wen ba rom ke so ji ban tin ku le school en town no gen number 1 ta cho alon chinen ku wi ko pa nun bi ko ni ku de we kun ti ka yo e du ki school i balaga ku ngori rer ku lo to ngi lu yin ku ye la school i balaga at the end of the day ba den family won chi cha abandon ka wala chin ke ye ko ko ni te le yin ka pa lo ka ja la very proud of you because the school metin in de kele ko ni we na ki na e manun wujen ko yi del school ku le ka ko den jram wi bo jog ba lu kwar ki cha yo bas ka yin piedu ba den abre ja fa di yan wede ngel wan cha ba nya na wen ya jel ba duk bai bala ni fry ma et because jin pandien po dare tin wow kwa duk chen bala ba kang bala ni fry ma et ya bana duk town ba senior wan ban balo ban duk bai antil bala ni senior 3 bai ban monja advise ngel cha ba la gan ko ran ngwen ko wa ke kang re ro yen ko ran family dai e wat chen role de ke il ya wat chen use on me ko bi aro chok mi lakini na elders ko matin baran tie jin town den ti mari o ju ba katare kaget kong do da tie ka wo za to wo ba ka yegen ko bai bi jal jam ga yin ga ye wo so this thing now become a problem en ke ting ne matin ke koi ko za mi ko ga chi go mol a chi wi big elders dana tie that because some of the elders are will be rolled in big on the investment gala wi kan ma kang mo wo wala ye one den one here for nan point ke recently gala any advice must come with money wala ye ngo cha jaban ni ran ta en ke nim kya wala ye kedi na cha ban de kana so en ke one of the things ya yoga chi elder chi watch kana e ke lo ba martin kana na de that when are you ke lo ba mle about elders ka ta ga kita definition yen tin nyai ile ban elders ban ga loy define thing elders yan de kita lebih loy define ya ran won ngwen ko ran to ka de ke mier kan be loy ran tin ko bi ro chok pin en le lo ke elder je ran de ron ter ngwan wala ron ter di wala ron ter doro wajin ke loy man tin ko je ne ya elder ki le bagam kana so when gidin tin ye martin ka kan
No, thank you. In China, not a peg. Elders nowadays, what we can watch. We can elders, we can device. Well, if it is like that, it's interesting because, as mentioned earlier, in this modern context, devices, elders or mentors, coaches, and we pay or where you work, when the book, you read the history. And someone here, understood that, the life that I walked in at the moment, elders have no clue about. So it's sometimes, I would advise you about your career. The advice school of what thing to look at the value you for to quality you be read for you, give you encouragement. But the basics on how to be effective in your career, they may not have an understanding. So thank you so much, Luca, for adding that perspective about what elders are doing and what they should even do better. And how the elders are a common good, actually only for a specific community. Bien kind of, our culture, a child is raised by the village. It include all the elders from that raise the child, right? And Ben will tell you what to do. So thank you so much. We have Chol Manula who has joined us. Thank you, Chol, for joining. If you are able to unmute yourself, you ping, then this is your chance. You have heard from Chol Mach, from Alakir, from Luca. We have talked, and also from the comment, Benanong audience, who are grappling with what elders, what elder mean. What does it mean for elders to be respected? I think Niabara is a very important point that sometimes mindset, you would think around to the open monja, but not even around to the open. Our educated people to Madina can walk, do we see them as elders, like community elders, And in what capacity do we consult them, okay, elders? So there's so many questions that have not been answered, and many people in the comment section are trying to answer it in different ways. So I want to give chance to Chol Mayula the perspective that yet. What do you think of elder? Elder is it around with get mindset the Rwanda and is freely available to help people again they look at it like here without even asking for money. Or is it around to the up in age? Or around to the up in age quakin pay or around to the up pay? So take it away, shoulder.
Joel, try to unmute yourself.
All
Maybe the
kujela wa
network
copy
here.
ban. Eh, so kidi aje bu woja red kane ko ju
Yeah.
ke jam. I will tine. So network the anything is keep disturbing. But all inshallah cool by participating. So
Yeah, in chuku ping ja kule ben one kule riro, I don't know.
era na ke le bu joy. So based on kache live gen takes into experience you think we gain along the way. So ran not again being birane bibela jowel. So anan ko yen ko ke pure wisdom because wisdom ya knowledge information you which choli yoku. So anan ko to community And those people along the way, Iran ale bu quote ke bany because anang wisdom ale ben ko ngor bu ko cha da pet. So to me, ran ya elda era nang ke date lon chat pir or ler pintwen, that person in kale bi ki kanang kawa anang ke cho sukul yen wolotini. So kwanang in oral knowledge dan lon yen wo pir chiang de jang base kan ka ken ju to tini ka ke awai ke ro kan a piat binang to advice le baga yo on both side. So to tangen ka korot binang banang nin the elder to in the village. Let's just assume that nang ran went to in the village or nang ke date the bi kon rana ko in advice de the peer because peer ya da reckon walk anang ran to madina tene ki this life to lebanin le value navigated through this life ke ran to take through because cheleba elder kitchen experience or learning in future in thing then cheleba ran advice. So most of the time work that you may look young kuran wanda duran to be advice is expecting something from you. Is expect because ni yin chi pye queen le banang ken ran chi pye le balen. So in other contexts, you even you in le ba elder to an elder. So you may look young, but in le ba elder. So to me, in ke tin le ba there can ku continue. So an elder era na ke date ni peer to in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cholda. I know internet we break, but I was able to catch your perspective, and many people are ping and definition. I think yin chol ma yin ping. So topic is ja define. Elder elwela ranu no kichi date it's a period. Ranu no wisdom in a certain area, and you can have wisdom in one area and not having wisdom in other areas as well. So if, for example, an history of Canada, Queen, I can be an elder in that perspective. Like I have read, books, many books about the history, but that I live around when take ben I live a pure, I live advice. But if you are young, I know that any youth kind of around when take ben can run to the temp, which history by and I live elder day. So in case I know no my perspective. And I don't know what you think you ping now. Look at you ping now, like you ping now, chul. Your baby, no, are you still convinced or no question for the can address? And what do you think? Boy, drive to the next part of conversation.
All ayen contributions one ban a pet watch match tangen what else ki kar ba kon ngari ni an topic kon leo chan ba your perspectives ba kon ban and how you define an elder person iran hinde so kiki lebalwel na de kin lebalwel elder person no ngan a person that we all trust for guidance. Like if you trust someone for any guidance any elder dugana let us assume mana dakin libalwel adel go modern context kujala traditional context I watch at the same because na long in the manuar okay traditional ngade perspective war there and rani consider ke elder or maybe because guide ya ranong nich someone who have lived ngade experience life experience someone who is always neutral in trying to ngade solve conflicts, someone of good characters in the same way abe will be defined in modern context. You see, kabego yeah, there's someone who have lived someone who has really lived some experience, life experience. Human mentors, you can get a school je. Human ran to twinginum kuna ngade to. Anong ko gin along ran kwanchi wono ran chi kwanchi chiran chilang long daman chete ko long te chete ini ran kwanchi ben. You see. So rani kwanchuk era nong morals, era nong good characters. You know, eran you ke nong ke bara loy lan nong en kwabi yenin chilun ine woithin nye ro maithin, you see. So na la rungena la e ka chi wach a chi ko bai manin cha chir ke lo la wo ko ji pe ku ka yu ko issues kwanyu ke chu man de da chi ko bai chi ke ni yong en ke kui ko bai la ke lo war gal ma chelo de tur kana yu ran gran ka nga ye lul men dia kwan tu kul chi ko pet galam ma chelo de tur inga kine kon ping balong den kene kurana rana kin galam kin kon gor tok pin so again ana lul mana da kin elda za chi wach bai ban kwa che rana run ini ya helda is someone that you know you mana da kin anon kina da kile be jowin in ke yo helda someone that you think of good characters, you know, that you can also accord with respect. So en ke ya helda kene so ku tag de yen woni mlo lotina la elder person ne kaka yinga na lul ka dila mo indi to bai ja wan bai tu la ke mama dia elder yong che jori lo ma ti yin da du yin elder lo ran na yi someone of good morals da du ki yin ka lo ran lo mentor ko lo ran lo advice ko lo ran de ti yin bi yin bi ti na yu rot chaman dia ne anu elder, and it doesn't mean that I don't get the open kin diop. I'm very young, but an elder in my own ways, you know. No rana dakin lo advice rania you. Kwana koko ya go I chop by. I go gol panda koko this guy chop. Ku yidiere keke nyon mana dakin elder. You see, yindiere ke by nyon mana dakin elder jana no muzola yigo ikititi. En ke yene ada en ke chok kri ban eti wutet kon go pure, you know, lecturers, your mentors, all those things are elders. Quite every lecturer in the art to college, you see, for non lecturers cocktail. Kitchenim ngade along their own lifestyle. Chiran to get a bunny aran in a degree of quancho. Quite you mean to buy. Eh? You want to buy along under 12 milk of a bay near milk of a wet. You will, a man a yellow coin. A man a coin, get along woolen. But long lot in yin and I think that you may the yeman I do want a chin get on the end. Chin yin to yen Iran yi ran di tin chin yin to yen anything a chalo in dit Iran to ko rin a eating ka ay more kan wuri ke kin to daman mama du chana nguri chin ja date bana jela dirala jel benu jel lo yin non pa yin jelo yin pi chalo jelo tar ban muksola lo chili you see ken ni jelo lo ne mi na ma lo ngade so cái jël ñi da du te war ke yen ko ke yi mama du kan ngadi rani long lo la ba jal bi ñi ngi dir so e ñi gene bara non ko dir ko ko mana la ga dir mana ko dira be ka ja long man ka to mana na long de len chen bolo pro pa na ir ka jël mo mo ndi tar ba te cha ka ke to chi ba yen na yelu lo ne mama choli ne wan you see ñi ta ngori kini ne ñi ngori kini ne min che elder because I elder ke support ba ki kan lut kan yi support ba ni ku ku we nga yi ni kan ku chi nga ting ka so na chi ka ting ka yi ngai la ma wach kan ke cha wo je ku le chi ya de mit mana de ki ne kan ke cha wo je ku le ni che elder because a yi ka da de mit mana de ku le ni wo je ku le ku ka ber ting ya ku ba na yi mi ku ba ting wo de ba chopin wo de in elder in ji jalo in jalo de ni je chi ne mutan. So elder is someone that is respected by the community and everyone looks up to her or him for guidance. So you know elder kana so modern society modern context jala traditional context are not far that the same because a lot of things riu akin kon jalti kuriu liu akin lu ka nye madina chilang galam di nun be do akin lu liu long de chene chal tin den ari tu kula lu riu ato ay pe ko je tu kula ari wato ko to war pan ji ra riu ro den gara ya muksul so lu ba lu in my own way lu ba lu ran to elda ran muksul ran ro yo ke muksul en ke elda and ko long ki ko chan ba muksul nong ki ko ra ko riu ko ni ka dil to ka na long nich ku yin ku yiri urat. You see, eka ka yin gin ke elder. So yin ke lebal wel kene. So na nong to alde le bajal ba thi na kwal ka bajal ba thi. Yin ke dia kene.
Thank you so much. And no example, dun chakam there. It was on fire. I laughed so hard. Ek deke bias though. So an example, the envirur ba guru ba well because so, because usually I don't kind of white. So now I meant my mom side choose. You can deal like the mama de deal anyway. Didn't you no another point of another keyword. Elder being elder I'm swollen. Wisdom, I agree. Wisdom is good, experience is good, and sometimes experience comes with age. And someone say we should also really agree with the fact that age is a factor of being elder. Experience is a factor. Jabela Muksolia is a factor. But it brings us to another question. When now Muksolia is actually, a band can powers like resources. And there are some people, the resources are there and normal through sketchy means that are moral, you and KK. And those are some of the people you will glorify, man. Maybe around Galam, maybe you watch. And then root no PhD, but maybe a PhD you watch. They haven't went through the rigorous method when you're a PhD. Okay, now I'll work a PhD around PhD no moral authority. Will we consider that person elder because of the experience he went through? Or anu ju kwet ka invited because ben le where wisdom mana ko le na chi anu ko ka le ka to manga watch because era and because we are le envelope. So anong power, anong musulia, anong title, anong experience when maybe you watch. Do we consider those people elders? As we define that conversation. Maybe you think about it, but by opportunity, to chime in, or if you have some thought, okay, I'll and then we come back to look up.
So, Alakir, are you ready, or maybe I should go first? Are you with us?
Go first.
You can go first, thanks.
Okay. So I tell you the people who are the charan galam de rechit dinum ku ka yen muk so le like but adidi ada ku ke ana borana le borana bogul wel ko manga ke chen chalo chin wer nyanga de ko ka sometimes I tell you ni ja le goran le bokwan chok bunang ki jowin in ke elder do someone that you can seek guidance from en ke elder do chuma na lor ku jaran yo ke ran kor respect a lui demand because along material world or maybe along ko chirga ka you see okay so ran muksul so can you say ran muksul ran in the akor what define a Gakson da liara akor what define muksole yengo what does it mean Muksolia, I think is like when you take up responsibilities in Muksolia, in Gelaba, Dili Yogene. Natural Muksolia, like Balang responsibility, like handled by back home, or maybe to do anything. In Gaya Muksolia, na along Miss Loika mentored in Muksolia. You see, you give it to yourself, that is it. A responsibility, you admit that it's something that you can do. In responsibility, when Muksolia, maybe I know any definition of Muktolia, then I don't know. But according to me, Muktolia is really a responsibility. If you can stand up for any responsibility, then in a Muksul. So, I get deal talking. So, go a cocker, keen around, Janaka to him, Chaklo in a man, thin deal talk. Kuchagran Yokeran Chakwe Kalonga Dila so influential maybe in the community. You could do a red chan bananki in coach. I did you can distinguish that kin Iran Longata he did can chalo Iran can get in any Iran to chan Cheteka Wirin or Cheteka who get a delio chanman the Delachalio Lebalio. In Madrid Chan Yanga Chin Madina Jabay like modern side Engajala wood the Kanpan Jamwar and get Engajal Wajaman. So, but still, as someone who is still rooted maybe in the community or maybe back home in the tradition, krana chile ale biro maj we yelom inchi lui lan ngi ni lo long ran na de le lang le derin chana chera long mal na de lo long ngi lo kor ba ni mana lo long kar ba ni nong kene e pidi ne iyo era no wu ka ina de le bila der kene ayi ke le bila der ni krana win mi ga muksul rana is a good person ine wo kina de long bila deri ku chi wen ne to ya krana a dil yo rana elda non ke le jowi bana yu chin le jowi in lo long in lo long rana de le deri so ko ka ni ke we all know chiran ku goran muksulu wo okay ran to ye benchana wo o title de to ye nani ku goran chi community gam chan nyinde ku my community de ka anyi ke ban we all know so that's all I can say yile baran kwan chi gran na de lo ko bala dil yo ngen ko che win so like here maybe you take up from there and I think if I've answered you well gini ko ka bajalba ngade I can answer biran de jalba
Anyway, Chala Kir, Jala did talk, but I want also Kir to speak to this question that why do many young people feel disconnected from elders today? So as build on what Chola said, and what Chola said was in response to the issue of the modern ways of acquiring experience and wisdom and knowledge that sometimes in modern society are some loopholes that become exploited. So you know about in age, but sketchy in experience. And with the about PhD, but a PhD watch, you know about now mal, you been eating in a musul here community, but a mal you can sketchy ways. So that one, how does it affect the credibility with or respect that the community or the young people can accord you as an elder who is elders on their think tank point mentors coaches, but now in this modern society, are they relevant, and are there reason why are there some of the reason why young people feel like the elders of themselves at the moment? Take it away.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, but I'll bring it back to my definition of elders. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of elders, and at Chokoto, we're not in the same living space. When bene elder jaleng opportunity abu wisdom de bijalu person and jam context ko chi jal bai. Ko ngot ka to bai, you are very rich. You have all the elders around. You can talk to them anytime. Telephone ko connect, but the context of back there ayena kadang ayena the way people go about their day used to be very interconnected. Na korbala purki la purkan mama do or baba do. Your korbala buko hoki la buko your uncle and your brothers. That creates a lot of touch point. Nana deke le buik nang shared knowledge, shared experiences, and a lot elder le where baden ke very relevant. So Aruna, like Tiana youth, where youth spend their time, it doesn't have elders. Like a tennis sports, it's people a little bit older, but they're not really elders, in my opinion. A lot of schoolage, you get the teachers, but some teachers are sketchy, right? So I think that a authority could allow relationship actually strain a little bit. Lakini, what can we do? In Ekikar, we will focus. What is the solution? If these elders are truly motivated or youth are truly motivated to listen to their elders, kakor big gap will identify what is still yungu relevant advice, yungu kar ba ping nong elder. If elder set me down today, clear where ye were ya tingin and kwanyan or chin kwanyan, right? Because the live realities and the realities chin elders kadirtin achu watch a deal today ni wo kan waitin wan kai pirin tin ko pirin atin a chetong, right? So there need to be exchange of knowledge, and this relate to question of what can youth teach the elders, right? I came across this video of Jiang Dengchenko interacting with his daughter and talking about everyday conversation. That interaction makes me very happy. I wish there were more of those where parents actually intentionally spend time with the kids and teach them or learn from the kids, because he clearly doesn't know everything, and he's very open and vulnerable to learn from the kid, right? So in my school, if you go through the youth or adolescent, you think you know everything. Into your rebellious phase, right? And that rebellious phase are called be elders because we understand. One there I know because they will have to force you to listen to them. Monday in this context, you cannot beat children. Inchil bamid bakano. Yabaka jam di biki yin ping tok, right? Or generations will trap in the middle. I really don't know what the solution is for us. I'm speaking for Koi Midjaka from this generation. Can the parent how that connection should not be lost. So how do we move forward from here? Be relationship with elders and youth and young people. Beloy men Panta wotin kana grani ben ete to mi that sukuli elders ato in the elder care the parents are at work. It's not a problem. It's also then a problem of the globalization. The peer structure where there's not a lot of intergenerational living space. Na rare ki in rare kana koi tum kana yin is what I'm trying to say. And there's nothing you can learn from them because you go to the same job, you come back to the same house, you go to the same bar or the same coffee shop or the same dinner. So realities are very fragmented. I check a way breakdown, and as you move from one phase of life to the other, you go to a different context. So I think feedback loop chilwe close ben ran chitiok ben koi kor ben baya jam. There is mentorship, yes. But these are one-off conversation where quite been in a conference, we're talking about youth mentorship, and that's it, done. They move on to do their own thing. So personally, I don't have the answers. I think there are things kaka really useful to be elders because pure youth when be youth pure elders. I'm very interested in learning our way of life. Naning elder talk, and you know that elder in your life, please set up a camera and put them on YouTube. Conversation kaka how things used to be. Talk about kinship, talk about a traditional spiritual way of life, how things tiene ka luoy tin wan there. Kaya la kanisa kaya gamiat, but yes, but some people are curious. They really want to know. Period tawdi before bin kawajat be a big ben by, right? Those are things someone like me are curious about. Like and one there, play koi dur, ye jok, how do you conduct those? So yeah, I think that's where my mind is in regards to that. So aniran in kabidiyat in kabijadiyat what, but I hope we focus on solution. How can we bring back that connection, kind of intergenerational relationship? And I personally do this in my own time where I try to talk to the younger kids and how they view their relationship to their identity as South Sudanese, but they're growing up in diaspora or and they have the cultural disconnect, kind of parents and their grandparents. So back to you. Thanks.
No, thank you. And I like how you take us now, and we are almost on top of an hour. So we have 30 minutes to actually use this time to, to think about the way forward. So we have, discuss or even brainstorm about what an elder is. Consider, and that's why this conversation is really important. Thank you again, Cholmai, because sometimes we go through life assuming that we know what we don't know, right? And having open discussion on this actually even and we reflect. Now I know I can be I'm elder, elder because not just because of a quality can you write it but because of the deep side of things that I try to do my Chinese. But dear being an elder is actually something, to be proud of because it's associated with the knowledge, with wisdom, with experience, and so many things. So this discussion has really, reached my side. It has raised issues that we have been neglecting, right? Especially and things that we take for granted. For example, chikichala kilwell, pan western, create ben eteto. Like, koi dira real seniors home, chene ke dio value retire 65 and above, and not to do where it into the quantity of. Coi thì cái rare chi ya kwal no parent working class I find ya lo to on go lo like ben thing so their life defined by work mit ko tu ga this apol bu ga mu ai ga le de ke lu la pol ga no wari ken mit ko so ra ga no wari ke and that is the system and it is going so now you learn wisdom ko you learn through books or one time interaction to get chala ke but in other contexts, man, to chole Martin in Rwanda, African context, family ali bene yinta one grandma do ja grandpa, uncles, auntie. In where my brother Luca is, one family, and okay, there might be separation because in the bar, when about in the same household, parent who are gone in Terakil or school, they don't know modern setting, but at least are in the same space, but we're in different mindset, of course, in that house. Same thing now to touch all Mayula thing in Uganda. It's the same. There is that dynamic. So discussing this is very important. So look in the I want you to pick up from where Alaki left how and the question that she chole maja chitani how can we how can elders and youth rebuild trust or even come together, right? How can this modern system of education, of urbanization, of immigration, how can it not separate us or not disconnect us, right? Where parents now can have open conversation, they can learn from each other, like Randy and the Blue learn from a young one and a young one learn from others, or create platform le ben woggle that's a Benjamin youth and who whipping stories can. So what are some of your ideas, solution way forward on how to revitalize or revive the role of elders? I know revitalization for use in South Sudan peace. So let's not use it here.
Shukran Katir, Kwal, and I really appreciate all the group members who have brought the ideas, plus those who are in the comment section helping us to get some good questions concerning the role of elders and what elders can do to also help the young people and what young people can do or use to be connected with the elders. By the way, this topic is very important and it is relating with our cultures and belief. And most of the thing alo bukayok through our elders and can important. Kichil gwen ki wada experience ki elo raise kujala all experience kujana wisdom kan ran choli a elder experience takayin pierwi experience takalo daman reading but kujana connection ki ko ki we connect kujana wisdom mutin takayin ake ko ilo bi gina define ke elder lakin some part and lo balu disagree tina pai weden long resource wala long masuliya rande le biya masul nam masul bai fande wala masul pan man wajil bu go queen ke ran won yan ke hilda ten erin na war ken da experience pa gul masuliya 5 years wala 6 years ko ken 20 years loy with that responsibility ke ran le ke masul de kai ko le biran bai loy lakin in less than 5 years ka masuliya de tino ke yo kala birai. Now, again, in terms of resource, also we cannot put it as one of the factors below the taking of resources, because that one cannot be a very important factor. If we put the resources, okay, one of the important factors that can make you to be an elder, then even someone who is 18 years and his or her own father gave them some money can be an elder also, because the taking of resources again can a modern world within. Like your father may be somebody who is a government official, well, the business can look okay. Or let's say your father lost his life. Ko idija don't within then kaka I don't get resources I don't get even come. Now we le kujala le and the resources can go up any one of the elders. Ma kachijala useless elders that because maybe china just again. I doesn't live in koi kokorni, how koi depend ka koi. Long ki go in ki go ki koi can go ti how can an elder build a trust with youth to come together and trust can ben kada come elders in la use na iran when what a young man I'm sorry to say that one ko una jingin go jal ko dong resources ko ran ki gane ngolo blo ko ka bi kina na idea that again so can we have problem along resources I disagree 100% on that actually we lela gal we degno resources can define you to be one of the elder. Can you define to be one of the elder? I experience plus wisdom. Kwachin farak de ke ko wan ter ja ko yakol farak den bas e wet ko yakol a tiket ko ko wan ter ke ko di wan ter elders daman wan ke la school ga farak den ke ko ke elders ko la school e time bas lakin ke gama yere the same thing ajin elder ni aren ku bumet bukra loy kwachin elder ni aren ku bumet ya kaman ku bikila ko er fadi kwachin elder ni aren bumet biki successful. So kaka ake kalo biane gwa nyala elders one time for them elders today weden ko ka ke get ko ga na ko le my sister call la elders ko la biran bia ran le bia PhD holder ko ter ken le o bas ko yen ken ache lu da ka tay no den ke le ko ko le title break yen so title ka man ke yin lo ba elder. I can disagree on that part. Now coming to the point question lo because madi because yan for example because be used with that connection how with that trust ke elders kenen one thing le bukta woni ka we use ku with that connection ke elders a respect in number one thing I you can liberate yeah we have to respect elders even if you have money you have resources you have a car and an elder is working on food and he's not having a car ku dede chi wega lui join tin somewhere wala dede chi wega rom tin bang yu yen ku de ku wi bilagin ko tayo ko chalo chongwen kong wa de ni kong ping because yen gonna lo be ben be next time the same zone when you rom tin ku be wedin de when ti bana ta ke kan ni chi ran wen ta kaman ben ban we tin de so kan ye nyo na da respect en le bia na man le bia kede le bi trust bi lo bi ka use ku jana elders kenen kede de tin kaman tan ka o use alo bug elders bu kanya ka che ko wen yan ko wen ko ye advice related with how to get money. Now under some elders they 70 years wala 65 that time aka kin lu grow up in the modern world ta ukten mutin yan lu grow up kare pan monja lekin mutin kulela ka elder wen le bi la advice le bin ka you do free justice you free judge the elders from those who can give you the advice based on the money way of you to get the money and those who will give you advice based on the thing that you will do like in villages that one cannot make you to have a trust with elders ka elders pan mon jang zato awa kai won kin re ge padaron ti di baba padaron ti atem yan kalabi ron mi achien rin ay ping ke yemen jam ye le ran le ba advice ke ran ni je de chito ran ban yo dal won ban wo ban ke loy lakin all this kijil kan wan ji man ka le den wa ma de ran ke comment section ni de le ka chin ngul dal no le bi el da bena ko ba ka ya di ba loy bul biol then lo be da iko my brother wala my sister when ta kan ba tinga pa den comment gan then lo be iko ma kare do ba lo bio number 1 ka gon jale le wa respect gan number 2 kamane waden ko ba de ba a ber creative in your life as individual ku ci ga advice ci elders kan lakin ke kwani be ce wat ba advice kan ga nyai ben na de ada one of my brother che will comment that return command gal someone who is some of the elders are idiot hey because ranun ko ko ku kan kule dio ko chin na do ko chin dar kan ko chen ro ban yal dun ku kan ni ala bu dio ko kan kaman ko le ko ni elder because of the age factor ala be ko ni elder bare che elder won de kitai num de when the one here chol majelela elders ka ko de experience ka ko de wisdom so na elder when kin in kin experience win kin wisdom ma ka yin elder when idiot in kin advice ba gam ko so kin lo bi kwen ka ye ran when lo bi chol ko ni da ko ban re bar ken en mon bas e wat bi respect brete ko ci elder ci ke tek so la gal ka ko yun ko ko ni long we a ko ko ni long pir madina ro lo ko elder biga ka to ben ka trust ka ben use ku jana elders ka le brete ni en ka tin le ma den gani na ko
No, I really appreciate your perspective, and especially the fact that Bukang Poito, right? There is wisdom that we can seek from our elders who have not experienced what we have experienced, and the wisdom that we can search from somewhere else, right? From books or from school or from other areas. That one is very, very important because sometimes we think that what the PA, we have been through this, we don't need anything from elders anymore. And that already a blanket a divide because while walk, elders are could big band refugee camp, big band like school age to apply for a scholarship, to apply for work and get rejected, and to until you reach to where you are right now. But this is your own journey, you can own it. While elder can advise you read pure, right? There are other aspects that have been elders can jam, but someone raised a very important point, and which I be told my you have answer who bujaben you 10 messages for you. So someone say, if you go through education, let me read it because I call a it's a very important perspective. And when you went to school, walked through countless challenges, made life-changing decisions on your own without elders, right? You learn the hard way. You grow stronger in silence. You become who you are through resilience and faith. Now imagine returning to South Sudan, into we hustle, and now you return to South Sudan, and now elders are in your pin. And advising you on who to marry. Yenyan kwana yinga batia. Bang have to know the benching thing. How about you bang point because the one and all those things. What would you do? Is that where you chose? So I know you look and you have some ideas. Chola darling on ideas. But what do you think about it? About when that really your U-turn messages. But tell my if your internet is still on, what would you do in this situation? Is it an area where we can partner with elders to help us?
All right. Anyway, kalaba conwell then as we move around, as you move along the way, you move with elders. Kalaba conwell can. You don't move alone. Whatever there is something you hang on. Anchor. It might be a word from an elder. It might be someone you a mentor. I want us to be honest. So all challenges you could take ben let's take an example. I have somebody I consider a mentor. Even doesn't know that he's my mentor. By the way. But I learn from him. So again, other aspect leben could be jam the perspective we need to differentiate. They are well bus manadari nyana ngadi kunyana kwane kunga all this they know it. They know it. But yung ben can yin that you will also tell them manadari yen kenuku achira ber korman. This is why we need to balance. So actually this is what they know. They know that very well. This is what they have been going through. Gold generations. And all these things are token work. Whether we like it or not, it is part of us. So, but this is what is very important. So, Bajalo soal yung solution. Especially, it's very hard but an advice. Man, we got our air what to do because you are not there. Very hard. Because Bajalo, while you do like this, and I'm not there. But we can try. So, Anang, I have been seeing people. Okay, one of the people are Jang Deng Kyong.
Chuku lost or is he still there?
We preserve the culture.
Bara chol chomu saben ni network la do chen ka de pin.
So I'm
network is okay now.
Dia mu saben ni dia mu network chok.
I
I
think
think
what you chola chu lose chol korba ka ke baga ta first while you come back.
ayen ya soal kar ba dil bere ken ya ton madinga. You know what, that one falls under ngade, ngade keden, are there things that we can learn really? Are there things that our elders back home can learn from us? Ko jalo to kulu ko payment that yes. Ke kirka ne, I think that buga jara le ko bai ko jolo la kene ache ba to ya tande ke pian de ke chana cha tindu loy ke pian de ke ba juran di dunda bai, you see. So ache you know ache lo ne get two way traffic like kiman branded bu loy lan no ngin ku ba loy lan no randit. So along ka kor ke ka man de te chi long ka pia chi pin den le watin ke chi ga bay bu ka ter war ba get place ka yu ngin ke too backward ka chi ber ba di ke man te te ato ke kwanan ko. Culture can never disappear. It will evolve. So culture can blue evolve kalong kok along kok you gala nyai thin ka job ke buka mu ka chu ka kon pol chuman hiri war ni ran wan to inum yen to a che ka kon jala ka I part of our culture kin kon lun mana de ri wali wo to from the start. So kin yin to mading. It depends on how convincing you are, like maybe to your parents. Na nyi chin mana daga lo lo ne muksul war kyang ero ki an ro lo ping I ko ke ala jam loy ko la loy a ko me cheret ala bi mon china ala bi ala jam ke ne utandie kule wili ke ya ke wil bai ne morot nyina man ter chan bana ya lo na lo ting die kan ting die loy ke jere ke abi nyi along ko ara yigi nyi na kana riya ku inji chola ben ke de inju anga de ko inkin miya kana la bay ku jela wore ku jaga wa ku inji tom la ben ki de men nga inju de ki ne men nga kama gumbi ping. So can e talk so a part of things that our parents can learn from us ko e ko ji pi.
No, ini kan meja na dol ke ini cuma bela gur kau nggak no ngisir rai biar ai lo ke dah ke pihak gue aku dulu agak cie kan orang ai di mana lo ke jumi so kaya dah salah wajah pe orang raji ke mobil so aku dulu bela rini so aku tiro time kan lo itu but
So ngadi gender equality ku jala human right perspectives, ake ka ni parents ko ka yugo jal aka buga jala leke kana ke ka things bigalo learn from us. So and that one falls under human rights perspective. So it's your right to choose whoever you feel like but yeah or bitia. So aka yugo la juir bana iran de ko ngade ku yin ngin ki long te de ko pyotin yin kan arir ko ni mia. So can ala vila kevin ko bara ni ne mu su rodo yin ni rama ku yin ko ngade pyot. So yin kin nyen do kan kon wo chi kin ko tu kulu chogriu ka ma ku bin per in per kin ko ga ba en ga nyir ba dwen ge mana liu. So ake to ne but ko yi la ngini la jorti ya ko na do te do da ko yi la ngini na cha cha lang galam du lang do te da kule yirier ci loro kan yine lang te da kin ko ba accept ba gam nang do tine da.
All right. Piangan an chidila du.
yes.
Yeah. So I went back to Swalan Alakir. What is the solution? So especially here, I'm seeing Ranchira Jang Deng Chianko is trying Binyi Yung Nuan Chabam Toten, especially Kokala Dirtin, Kukochikala Dititi. So it is creating a dialogue Binyi Yung problem, Yung Nuan cake. So, but the problem is that elders authority, they are focusing on Binyi Yung what came with them, be preserved. Kwenguchia problem to their kids. Actually, they're not minding. You see people, quite their culture is we promote. A musician had been taken from here, big layer. So, but you challenge from there. Chiran Korbe Jamian. So to me, every young people caught in that problem. Kekani where the problem is. Kuna problem identify solution ajabu ban. So every dialogue could be sabamtority be conti yung nuan ke and how to handle inka solution right here. So abu jam between the youth kujela elders so solution alebra here. So to tangen tang walk it is walk out of Africa. Let me just say walk out of Africa. One in Chala Nyong look ban. We have time. We have time to meet with elders. One and daman you want to cake. The fact remain that why are busy, we don't want to get that knowledge. Or you korbu neglect. That's our only challenge. So but the knowledge is still available. Thank God. So to me, don't we work make sure that ba band together kuba thing where the problem is could be rectified. Could not work? So ke negligence kabawaja pen that knowledge. Thank you.
No, that is powerful U-turn message that you have just shared. Really, really very, what young walk out ahead and run when actually onion challenges the youth and how the elders gonna walk jack out on him, how they can step in to continue that dialogue to keep the wisdom cordial with the actually grounded to them could be realities of new life became adapted. So while we run out of time, wobble through around the table. We'll start with Luca in case na la network de le Peoria ka la to so Sudan and late. And then after Luca chol ma yula ke de wole already. So go wablo na la kir ku boku wel chole match ye tiak and then boku show da book close. 1 minute each because while we run out of time. So book job yin Lucas. So in the Japan Queen to die. What is your final U-turn message to all of us? We are called die, couple of things, but die. Walk on, do this discussion, do end so your community at large. What is the takeaway? Then all of it.
Okay, shukran katir kaman. Inja bayan le china gam daman tinen. Daman kana la kajel. Ketinen lo ba matin bas in ma yutan masi. Lo ba le koj biya na pin ko koj kedai ko koj ko be masi kan bara yok tuen kaman. Awi yo shan ko buga oi chen domben ko chuku masulia chuku pel mit biya ke mugwe na arin pa ta pali mit ko pal ko chi ko di lai ke tin ten ko chi tia ka chin ka won le biran blai dedi ibin ke det ku chi le balai dedi lakin de yin ke yembe te iro tia ran wen ko ibin de jolan ke ni lu approach ni try to approach that elder ku jam ke yen talk ask him ask her either ko won relate ke economic activities wala ko relate ke health activities wala ko be relate with cultures and belief ask that elder whether a woman or a man ask they are only thing that they can lo banya ne so the be elders command we get more encouragement come ken ku bigan ya de ko en ka tin lo martin ka kan ba se wer ku biran bu ke ga lo approach sometime de gen ku bungi ku du ku di ya ke wo lo approach no en ka dien tin yo martin ka kan
Thank you so much for advising us to be proactive, to reach out, to seek that wisdom. And Uncle, when you went, I want him. Thank you for that. Alakir, take it away.
Yeah, so I also I believe that like we still need the wisdom of the elders, and we need to create opportunity for those. Um, However, the elders also need to be open minded and learn about the current challenges that they can support with. So, bigger use our council on behavior, cultural identity, and belonging. Pantawo Tana and Japanese center and Chinese center, and those are cultural centers where you meet la pure token. Now you meant in Chinese ka jam tong den. So I feel like big communities, Chiman quite to Australia, in where there's a number of Jiang or Nuer or whoever speak the same language. The first step is let's set up a center for the community. Let's start teaching them the language, and through the language, they can enjoy all the literature or any group of people. And of course, the modern context, she look at when and I can understand why that is coming. Peer modernity ya peer woven, right? So I ran elder kwa kineng modern skills kwa chinti yuken wotin. The desperation is obviously there kwa bukoro. So na just cultural centers till set up ning the council of elders or the elders be kwacha be kwacha pure traditional education, right? Big history, big pure like, and to keep our identity going, kind of big done like whatever small percentage or the. So I feel like, yeah, I think way to organize and preserve culture and preserve knowledge and preserve traditional ways that needs a lot of organization. But in the meantime, Kuiran Elder just try as much as possible to interact and engage. And for young people, it doesn't have to be learning from elders. The way I approach it, it doesn't have to be something that can make you money right away. Yes, they can give you advice to make money if there have been people living in a modern context. Actually, work. Lakini, it's more than that. It's more about learning about who they are, like taking their stories with you. Teach about whenever I come across an elder, I have to teach one by when there's conflict. Um, how do your legal system handle it? Because legal system is now what pandan one in prison. Kaya check my people get exiled to a different community. But what is the severity of crime that in around we exile? And if they cannot exile the person, how do they get punished, right? Those are the cultural way of doing things that we need to keep memory of. We don't need to lose those. We need to know we used to exist as people before all the modernity and all the things that are trying to change us now. Ask them about their youth. Question took is, how did you meet your wife? Or how did you meet your husband? Watch their eye lit up and tell you the story. And then along with that story, they will tell you wisdom. On there, what the kaja ke lago, kaya kala go wako. So, and you dear cham. So there will be all the lesson you can learn later on, but just try and ask them about their experience. What they have gone through, they are expert in that, and they will tell you. And along the way, you will draw your own conclusion. It doesn't have to be the modern advice where it comes. If you listen to me, you'll get a lot of money. No. If you listen to me, you'll be very rich in the knowledge of culture and who you are and who your people are. That is also important. So, thank you so much, all, for bringing this topic. I really appreciate your creativity and your curiosity. I enjoy these conversations. You are self-appointed elder. I see your traditional dress and whip, so I will come for advice. And Luca, and then the others will dominant because of internet. I enjoyed. I've been listening. I've been learning a lot. This is one of the highlights from my week. I always look forward to the U-turn message, whether it's on the screen or behind the screen, like listening on the other side. And I call Philip. Keep going. You're doing a great job. Yeah, I'll see you next Saturday. Thank you.
Well, you alakir choli jala ba we do rakale we choda jati gwara you alakir didn't get the only conversation chin jalu line that we don't you get in bottom line. You didn't know there but in this case you have confirmed and not everything should lead to money and that's important. So good you turn Chiralo today. I'm so happy. Chol why take it away.
Okay, I'll be brief. That conversation has really been fruitful. So the red and watch long contribution work out of Penya work guide. their own perspectives are shared. So all I can say now, eldership, Libajal define finally, eldership is a responsibility, not a title, but sometimes respect comes from wisdom. Like chan balang riu bariu banyi dadu, kor banang nich, chan banang riu, kor banang nich, you see. So okay, ne ko konto. Ano ko chia lang adipi ne ya ngwong hen ko pinga do you deal will you go you go eldership you go maybe you go associated with only people who know something, with only people who are wise. No, even a chaka yin da du chan ba ko rio cha ko dir ko chin kana de jo ranin ko randit e ka rio chan erandit, you see. So kene ke to kene ko ba nyai kene ada. So go service kuniga provide example that you're not alone, you see. You how you present yourself in the community kaka ka to ya daga. So acha lwele ni akane. So logo bi kunyi kumana de ke mesen le bi eldership, you alone, even at your age in elder. So long run gede in elder na non ko yinoi o non ko bo ichok non ki joke on non ko yi teach non ko ba joke che ke ba joke ke nyich ke to guidance go ngadi lo ni along che la ke che lo man thon ne je lo you approach those elderly people ko wa to ba along ran te ko ne kon ne mo kwere non ko di na la non non kede ben e mio ci sukar ki ci jal diop kede ben e jal cho pach ke pach e jal cho pach ben banala nem ka ye lel batip ma kumba kede ne batip. So kana jala tiba la jala tiba la ka jal piolo la yum ku jela jwer pin tar ben a chalo yo ber te yen ka jel jwer ben ka to. So a che ke be go yerandi ne ke yerandi di jo ke krepir na yiro tan ke sometimes chan bara lo approach ku jel bala te ko kanga di ka jel lo ko man jel chirmi ter ko non, you see. A jel kir piende a jel jwer a che ke bala yene. So sometimes ke wo ko je pie iran lo na lo ran pan jeng de we ka bla ti cha red ko bla ti ban sometimes ki iran lo jel nya e men nge jela ting men nge cha ni chi ni men nge na de ko long ke le de ko le te yin chan ba jo wen, you see. Ajala jala le pan jeng long ke ti ran di da lo ko jala ba jal dom yi ka kon jen wo jal kang ba re ko ta ai ran di da jala ba pyo jala yuma re da jalu inji jal nyai pi, you see. So ka such things akor bu ni bu thio de wona ko dir kon bai ka to kwa chira andi di cholo bla ni mu la bu cho jal chen a che lo che chen pyo da man ni chen pyo ka nong tung de na de le yori na long ran le ba ni ke ran kin kan kon ni te re ke to bara no yi tung de na de ga le yen ni long ko la ro. So na lo ro woni yen ka lo bu tung la yi tung de tung ni long ran de ke da lu bio a to ko to ni ran ke tum den ke bio a to betum nying krach ke yetum lo ke nying ne purposely, you choose that life ke iran to mi on chana go ping no ran da ne ko yo na le jel len yo je tiang ret ka jel ko mang ni ne le bi ping bi nyede, you see, bi nyede. So aka ka to but anyi ke pet ko nyi krach atom nyi aka to ka so chira ndi lo ni we chiem ke chin tum na de ke le bi le ran ke lo approach aliu. So I can talk in a or dir approach with respect. You seek help, you seek guidance, eka konyin. So eldership in whether being modern society or traditional way of living chinageren. So shukran.
Well, I thank you, all of you. And until you learn, I don't even have U-turn message myself. I have learned from my young elders, Luca, Alakir, and Joel, and all the elders who are in the comment section. Now, yeah, but joke.
You can book office hours with me.
Yeah, I learned so much from you. And my U-turn takeaway today is to really be curious, to seek, wisdom, be proactive, to reach out for it, and to maybe to create dialogue for, for young people and old people to discuss ideas. And a lot fun is during this time. I know I have my elders in Canada. I don't know elders jam can one of them uncle denga ke level well shoot and ledge na ji telephone ji kwan chan yo or cha yo can I walk away with a lot of things I can learn and in that and I also have elders from other communities who are my mentors I and advise on how barrel working and even support me on how to be to support youth and get my team. So really, really blessed with elders. The only thing this time we are back home, the elders share different perspective. Can be modern school. Bagala record kuba non conversation can ke chirken ya na cha yen pin nom tiang sukar. Cái chào bò thì chuyến trên in for 2 days. I had my grandma điện đấy trong đây giá to for days không giá là gì đi in mà lại chào trong địa so I will just take it so that we pure me and my wisdom the balloon can get my payment. So thank you so much for all your wisdom. I appreciate. If you are new to the U-turn, we are always here on Saturday. Next Saturday, we have a topic that is really special. It's women only. When we talk about money, and women, could our society, polygamy and how women we will spend bigger children with you. So come prepared. In comment section who were doing on the screen, but come next Saturday prepared. It will be fun, it will be interesting, it will be a big debate, and I can be a part of it can who invite in women only. So now you can have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, U-turn fellows. Great job. Now you can away.